Or is it him pushing the boundaries? It's like, I'm going to
go. That's definitely it.
I'm going to do what pushing the boundaries. I'm going to do what everyone is afraid of doing. You know what?
Do whatever it takes.
God, dude, you are attention whore.
Wow.
I don't know what the angle is.
Those pop artists who are dressing up like the devil on the Grammys have not gone anywhere near what Kanye is doing right now. Jesus Christ, man.
God, we didn't got so deep into Satanism. Smokey had to say Jesus Christ just to bring some.
Y'all fools need Jesus.
Y'all need Jesus, man.
Hey, blast off, I can talk my ass off. Hey, Smokey, what you seen, and I'll tell you what I saw. Hollywood, what you think, and I'll tell you what I thought. And we can talk about it all when we here on Trash Talk. Hey.
What's going on, everybody? We're back with another episode of
the Trash Talkers Podcast. We made it.
What's up, Smoke Dog?
Man, what's been going on? You know, everybody's been talking about the one man versus 100 gorillas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I was thinking about it. People are vastly overestimating how strong a gorilla is.
Oh, dang.
You know, I've seen these depictions where they showed a gorilla at like 20 feet tall, like King Kong, just wiping out everybody. Like, it wouldn't really be like that.
No.
You know, because, people do that with chimps too. How they say that chimps are like the strength of 7 men, when really it's more like 1.5, 2 men.
Yeah.
Gorillas maybe have the strength of 3 men. And they will wear out. They're used to fighting like 1-minute battles, and they tend to run.
The cardio is a thing.
And they like to psych people, or other gorillas usually.
So
psych them out and not really fight. So
have you taken back your stance? You went from which I agree.
Well, I mean, somebody's gonna die if they do it.
Yes.
There's definitely gonna be people die, I assume, or at least mauled.
See, I actually did a podcast with JJ on the. Guys, just Google or YouTube Trash Can TV. I did a podcast with JJ, a German trash talker, about that topic, and it came to, of course, 100 people. In my opinion, I think 100 people are going to beat a gorilla.
Yeah, absolutely.
But a thing that we came across in that podcast was it comes down to morality. Because someone's going to pass.
Yeah.
So who's
absolutely
willing to die?
Well, that's the thing. You got to have people that are willing to go through with it.
And would people really be like, all right, at least 2, maybe 3 of us are dying?
Oh, there's enough psychos that are out there.
Yeah, I guess.
You pull some people that are on death row, they probably don't care, something like that.
God dang, if I'm out of my prison cell and I'm in an enclosed environment with a gorilla, hell, I don't want to fight this gorilla.
I mean, there's people that fight to the death with each other in the streets every day. So there's a lot of people that ain't scared.
I don't know, man.
I just think people have overestimated just how tough a gorilla is.
I mean, a gorilla is very tough. 1-on-1, no man's winning.
No, not at all.
2-on-1,
you're probably still losing.
Yeah. Now
you get over 10 people and more, it's a good chance you can beat the gorilla.
But who's going to be the first? Who's going to be the first one to be the sacrificial lamb?
Yeah, you got to have somebody willing to do it. Yeah, for sure.
Man, all right. Again, guys, if you are new here to the Trash Talkers podcast, we always read the top 3 comments from the previous podcast, which happened to be, has country music taken over the music industry? So you guys actually left a lot of pretty good comments on that podcast. So the number 3, and again, guys, when I say the third, second, we try to spread it out a little bit because there are regular commenters that you are usually always the first.
They win every week.
So shout out to the Sterlings, the Shans, the Linda Coy. Shout out to you guys. We'll try to spread it out a little bit here today. So let's see. Our number 3 most liked comment from that particular podcast goes to Amber Piercy. Amber Piercy says, "I was into country more in the 90s and early 2000s. I'm not into it. I'm not into anything else since then, really. Love bluegrass though, especially what I call newgrass. One of my favorite bands from 25 plus years is Nickel Creek. Fiddles, mandolin, beautiful harmonies, and the stories they tell. There's a romanticism that I'm not sure that y'all would appreciate as much as other music I love to, which is why I don't suggest them." Amber, suggest them. We might check those out.
Well, we did cover the Dead South on here, which was a really good bluegrass band. very modern. I mean, they probably, 10 years in or whatever it was.
Yeah. Again, that's the power of Patreon. Becoming a Patreon member, you can suggest these things and we will do it.
Yeah.
Throw it out there. The number 2 most liked comment comes from Epic Slicer. Shout out to you, Epic Slicer 1116. Epic Slicer says, just gotta say, I love your channel.
Thank you, Epic.
Shout out to you, Epic Slicer. Thank you for that. The number 1 most liked comment from that podcast goes to Cat Mirror. Again, another loyal trash talker. Cat says, according to Thomas Sowell, Obama bought racism back. It was never an issue for Gen Xers growing up. Hell, I was introduced to heavy music by my friend Jay, who was not white. Yeah. And I learned a lot about rap via a former boyfriend who now lives in Georgia, who was white as well. So, shout out to you, Kat.
Oh, absolutely. I've said that several times in the past that I felt like there was an era toward the end of the 90s into the early 2000s where racism was at an all-time low. And then the internet just ramped it back up.
Took it back up. Y'all know the best way to stop racism? Stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. Just forget it. We're all
That's
people.
What I was saying. The only way to get over racism is to actually get over it.
Yeah. I mean,
there are injustices. Yeah, I get it. But
there is.
At some point, we all have to go, okay, we're done with it.
Man, not only that, we're just people. We're all the same.
Yeah.
All right, this is not what this podcast is.
Yeah.
All right, today's podcast topic, Smokey. We always talk about the satanic panic.
Yeah.
Which usually refers to, the rock genre and, but today we're going to talk about, the satanic panic and Satanism in hip hop.
Yeah.
Now,
I would say hip hop and other forms of music.
I would go out on a limb and say that hip hop might be the most satanic driven when it comes to symbolism. What do you think?
These days?
These days.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't in the past.
Right.
If you look through the archives of hip hop history, you're going to find a lot of actually Christian-based rappers, even though there's a lot of horrific topics that some of these artists would talk about. They were still kind of Christian in their hearts.
I mean, and you're right. Back in the day, it really wasn't a thing. Like, you didn't hear KRS-One, throwing up the horns or wearing up, down.
It wasn't until the horrorcore movement.
So, but what do you think changed that? Why is it, at what point in hip-hop where they said, hey, we're all about, my rhymes are the best and I like fresh fries. I go to Home Depot and I hang out with guys. Like, when did it go from that to, that was a weird part.
NWA. Not that NWA went satanic, but NWA was that turning point from rap being about inspirational, go to school, learn stuff,
Take your vitamins, say your prayers.
To, I sell dope. We do bad things. We rob. We off people.
Well, okay. All right.
So at that point, is the rap started getting harder.
Okay.
More darker. We talk about the dark side of life. We talk about things that happens out on the street. And then just like it did in metal, it just was a progression where the next artist comes along. I want to take it a little farther. So, the horrorcore movement happens. You got Gravediggers, you got 3 6 Mafia, you got what was happening in Detroit, what was happening out in Sacramento, Brother Lynch Hong and those guys. Like, they just kept taking it farther and farther until you got rappers talking about praise Satan.
Yeah, okay, so you just think it's an evolution of what people are talking about. Because
shock value.
Right. Now, when you had first said talking about selling dope and shooting people, at that era, the NWA, the Master P eras, it's like, in my eyes, I look at, yes, you could call it gangster rap if you like, but Eazy-E actually put a good label on it. He said, I call it reality rap.
It was,
He's like, I'm just telling you what I see.
Yeah, it wasn't sugarcoating.
Yeah, I see dope fiends. I see, all things happening on the, around in my environment. So I'm just putting it on record. So people are like, oh my God, it's so shocking. Yeah. But like you said,
that's real life.
It evolved, but now, is the Satanism real life though?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's just each artist comes along like, I want to go farther than that person. Because once someone is used to hearing the dope dealing and the offing people, then how do you get their attention after that? And then people hear you and it's just like, okay, just another dope
song, Okay.
Yeah, so you like, well, what can I do to get their attention?
Hail Satan.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: how do you go further than that?
What?
I know.
If you're going dark, what is beyond Satan?
I mean, you could start pushing some things that you can't really say. You know what I'm talking about. You could start pushing, which there are some
things that have gotten intertwined with Satanism somehow these days.
I don't know, man. It's crazy because, like, when you think about hip hop, you think about girls, jewelry, cars, money, drugs, all these things. But it's like, and you had mentioned shock value, but in my head, I'm thinking at the same time, it could be just a money grab. It could be a publicity thing. Like, I know this is gonna look
selling. The record labels are gonna tell you to keep doing.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Like Marilyn Manson. People are like, no, they're covering their children's eyes. Like, you can't watch that. Okay, you got Lil Uzi Vert. If you guys don't know Lil Uzi Vert, say that word 3 times fast. It sounds like Lucifer.
Yeah.
Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer. It sounds like Lucifer. Why play to that?
See, and that's what's happened now, right? Because the horrorcore movement was underground.
Yeah.
I mean, you did have like Ice Cube and Dr. Dre doing Natural Born Killers, where some people would go, and you could say even Wu-Tang kind of went, a little mainstream with it, but they weren't mainstream like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube were. But Wu-Tang? I don't know. They weren't as. I mean, they were huge. They were huge. They weren't as big as Dre.
Not
and
as
Ice
big,
Cube.
but they were mainstream, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Like I'm saying, some of them took it mainstream, but now I forgot the original point I was making.
You were saying about how you look at Wu-Tang Clan not pushing it out, and how talking about
but the hardcore ones of it, the ones who were Hell Satan and whatever, they were underground. But now, Uzi Vert, that's a mainstream artist, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, not only that, like, okay, Snoop
and several others. What's the big one now?
Lil Nas X?
Nah.
Dude, we could go so deep.
Yeah. That's on a different note. I mean, although he did give a lap dance to the devil.
He gave the devil fellatio.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, okay, on the NWA topic for a second. Snoop Dogg didn't push. To this day, Snoop Dogg is still relevant to this day.
He did a hardcore song or two, though.
But he never
when it was popular.
What I'm saying, like, in the public eye, you've never seen him on an interview like, and people said, "Oh, MK Ultra," or "There's a handler," or you've never seen him like wear an upside down cross.
Nah,
you've never heard him.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre. You've never heard him like talk about I'm 666. But now it's so open. What? I mean, I'm sure he probably
the
has.
Natural Born Killer song, Ice Cube. He's like, I see the devil in the mirror.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The devil. I mean, when it comes to the lyrics, that can be interpreted how you want to take it. The devil in the mirror might be.
Yeah, but not. Yeah, he wasn't like walking around with. Devil horns or an X in his head.
Like, look at Doja Cat when she was with Taylor Swift she had an upside down cross on. She knew the camera was pointing. She's out in public. She's not performing. It's not a rap song. She's known for being a rapper / singer. She's got the upside down. Oh, the camera's on me. Let me throw some subliminal.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, because that's the image they want to uphold.
And it's so crazy because when you do have the rappers like ICP and 3 6, they're not being pushed. Like, they're not like in the limelight at the Super Bowl.
They had to grow organically throughout the years.
But why are these other rappers who it's like it's like a subtle thing, like Jay-Z. Jay-Z's not really talking about the devil, but he's got this.
Well, that's the thing is Satanism is what Illuminati was 8-9 years ago. Now Satanism is the thing that's going to get their attention. Like, people are tired of the Illuminati thing. Yeah. It's like, oh, cover one eye or throw up this pyramid.
Which every person we just named has done that.
Yeah.
I mean, every person.
Yeah.
So, continue though, sorry.
But, like, eventually people are just like, okay, Illuminati, is it even real? People got tired of hearing about that. So, next thing we can do is mainstream is going satanic.
Damn, it's so crazy because you always bring up how can this genre get any harder? Yeah. How can this be any harder? And I think about like what's next? What's after Satanism? You know what I mean? And
is there? I mean, that's as dark as you can get, right? What's What's darker than
Okay,
Satanism?
well, let me ask you this. And y'all know here at the Trash Talkers podcast, we get serious on things. Would you take pushing homoerotica to children? Is that...
Oh yeah, I mean, PDF stuff.
But
like,
some people would put that hand in, like, say that is Satanist.
that is pretty dark. I'll tell you.
But I mean, but would you say?
Well,
Like,
that they are tying it in now. That's what I was saying
Right.
last week. Is that if like the gender bending stuff and the homosexuality, they started looking at it as people think we're evil. The church hates this stuff, so we're evil. That means we're not on their side. So if we're not on their side, we must be satanic. So they start using satanic imagery to express their homosexuality and the gender bending and whatnot.
yeah, and we're not.
And we're not saying everybody's like that. Nah, and you can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
do whatever you want to do. As
Yeah.
long as you ain't hurting nobody, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, why is it that the consensus of people associate homosexuality with Satanism?
Well, the church will, because they're saying if it's not of God, it's of the devil, and people interpret the Bible the way they want, obviously, and they'll say that the Bible says it is against God.
I mean, hell, if you want to go down that route, there is a video that exists with an old white woman and an old white man rapping to a hip hop beat saying Jesus is my N-word.
Yeah.
Is that of
Uh,
God? Come on, bruh. Come on, justify this one.
I don't know if he can.
Jesus is, but
But is it? I mean, but that was a comedy skit in the end. But there have been times where people of the church try to reach the younger age through hip hop, for sure.
Now, with that, why the youth? Why is the Satanism and the nefarious things?
Indoctrination.
Okay, talk about
All
it.
religions want to reach the youth because if you get them while they're young. Same reason, you go to the military as soon as you turn 18. When your mind is still forming and you're able to be trained. You can't take a 40-year-old and start, training. Don't teach an old dog new tricks,
yeah.
So you have to reach people while they're young for the indoctrination.
What is that?
And that's not me taking a stance against the military. Every country needs someone to defend their country.
Absolutely,
for sure, but
and salute to all our soldiers out
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
This is a topic. It's a sensitive topic because we kind of need to. We have to tiptoe around certain topics to talk about it and certain points that we want to make. But it's something that that is happening, and we want it to put it out there. But it's like you're right. The youth is the brain of a child is moldable.
Yeah.
So it's like. Man, but dude, you know what I'm thinking about? What's popping in my head is they say, in my head, the Satanism, pushing this satanic agenda is a money grab. It gets eyes on people. How dare he give a lap dance to Satan? But then at the same time, they also say money is the root of all
evil.
So it's like.
But the church has been invested in making money for a long time.
Is that not the same thing? Like.
In a way. Yeah, I mean, you could take passages from the Bible and say, look, Jesus said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. We're not about being rich. We're about, living of modest means. But then there's pastors living the billion-dollar lifestyle out there. So, kind of hypocritical in a way, right?
It is. I mean, and y'all know we always try to keep religion and politics. And today's podcast, we might have to sprinkle a little bit of that in there, man.
Well, I mean, Satanism is a religion.
It definitely.
How many of them are actually doing it is the question.
Well, that's the thing. When we're talking specifically hip hop artists, we've done this, Smokey. We've pushed the Satanism thing. We've pushed the horrorcore, the 666.
Yeah, never went on a track and just said "Hail Satan" or anything like that. Not. But it's shock rock has been doing it for how many years?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's just it's a grab. Like, listen to this.
It's an attention grab.
Exactly. And not only attention, but monetary as well.
Yeah.
And we're guilty. We're guilty of it as well. But okay, well then let me ask you this: you consider yourself a horrorcore rapper back in the day, right? Horrorcore consists of what? To people who don't know, explain. What is horrorcore rap?
Horrorcore took gangster rap and made it harder, like I was saying earlier. It's whatever you would hear in gangster rap, we're gonna add this supernatural, this darker element to it. Like you're almost being controlled not by the love of money anymore, but by the love of just doing evil. Horrorcore was taking all that evil that actually exists in the world, because hip hop has always been based on reality. Taking all that evil that exists in the world and putting it into lyric form.
All right. Why did you choose that particular genre?
I related to it more.
Why?
I lived
Is it
my childhood. Yeah.
Is it because the satanic imagery was?
Oh yeah, that is attractive. You know,
and like, hold on, you said in your childhood.
Yeah.
Earlier, you said as a child they try to reach out to children. So as a child, you.
Well, but that's the thing. Like when you're a child, and especially if you have a rough upbringing. And let's say you have a rough upbringing, but you're also in a family that teaches these fundamental church ideas, even though you can obviously they're not living it, but they're always blasting into your head like, you know, God says do this and God says do that. So
well, you didn't come from that background, though, did you?
Yeah, they were all church, or said they were church. Man.
Okay.
I mean, they rarely went to church, but
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, my grandparents did. They always went to church.
Yeah.
But
and your grandparents pretty much raised you, right?
Yeah, for a good portion of my childhood. Yeah.
All right, keep going. I can see.
But you know, when you have a rough childhood, you know, you look at what your parents are doing, and you're like, okay, I'm taking the opposite route. So, you know, if they're all like, you know, God says do this, and God says do that, and God says spare the rod, spoil the child, all of this stuff, you know, and you don't see it as, well, God told you to beat the hell out of me, you know, and stuff like that. So you're like, well, I'm going the opposite of that route. If that's what God wants, then I'm going to go the opposite route. I'm going to look into this dark stuff. The dark stuff is appealing to the youth because they're rebellious anyway.
Well, what about the dark sides of religion? Like where they say, like, there's a story where God sicked a bear on 2 kids.
There's some gory stuff in the Bible.
That's what I'm saying. So why doesn't that, like, you know what? Oh, I gravitate toward that. That story of the Bible. Why don't people like, God said, like, you don't hear many rappers saying, I'm the bear that attacked the guy or attacked the 2 kids and this is what I did and I bit off their lids.
I have heard horrorcore lyrics that actually said, you know, I've been sent by God. I mean, even Eminem said that.
Man,
God sent me to piss the world off.
Yeah, not only that, but some people would look at that and be like, that's sacrilegious. Like, how do you know?
But sacrilegion is one of those elements of shocking the people, right?
Yeah.
Especially, you know, okay, let's look at modern days, though. When religion has faded over time, when the average person is not attending church. I know there's a lot of people that still attend church, and if you like doing that, then more power to you. I'm not going to tell anyone not to follow their religion, for sure, but it helps a lot of people, you know. It helps you in certain situations. So if that's what you do, then that's what you do. But overall, especially in America, religion has faded. I would say it's even more in European countries, though.
Man.
That religion is not as big a part of the lifestyle of your country like it used to be.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
the artists of today have to dig a little deeper, right?
Yeah. I mean, literally on every bill, every piece of currency in the United States says, in God we trust. Back during that time, like you said, religion was more of a prominent thing. It was taught more in, hell, even in school, I think they would teach it. You know, you do
the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right.
One nation under God.
100%. Yeah. But now, when it comes to that, like, we're so... It's like we're saying the religion. I'm assuming you're referring more to the Christianity. Christianity not being.
Oh yeah, because America was a Christian country.
But the music industry, rappers are so fascinated with another religion that happens to be the opposite of that. Satanism.
Yeah, because you're young and rebellious. So you're going to go every generation wants to go against what the old folks did.
Well, I mean, so you're just thinking it's all a young thing, like a young person's
thing. For the most part, yeah. I mean, there's...
King Gordy is out there burning Bibles as we speak, and he is 58 and a half.
I still expect, like you see the Undertaker shoot interviews, and it breaks his character when he's like, yeah, I found the Lord, you know, and it's like... Oh man, you just killed your character.
And I will say though,
I'm still waiting for one day King Gordy's gonna make a religious album and be like, you know what? I'm not living that life anymore. Yep, I'm praising God now.
Man, I will say, shout out to the Undertaker because he held that gimmick to the T. Like
and it wasn't really far off from his actual self.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't religious, and he dabbled in the dark side. Not saying that he was attending satanic churches or anything, but he wasn't, super Christian guy.
Well, what's the dark side? What's your criteria for the dark side?
I think he was fascinated by it.
Is doing drugs the dark side?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is gambling the dark side?
Yeah, that's a sin.
Is drinking the dark side?
Yeah, that's a sin.
Is
anything that
fornicating with someone
anything that goes against the 10 Commandments.
Those are the fun things to do, though, man.
Yeah, hedonism is a sin, bro.
Yeah, but it's fun, and I don't know. You're
That's
right.
another reason why kids like to do it.
Yes, man.
And I say kids, I mean young adults.
The youth.
Yeah.
The youth. I mean, and even, bringing it back to hip hop, like you said, man, it's almost like the higher ups, whatever the marketing and the promoting teams of these labels are, is like Mario Judah. When he came out, everyone thought he was this satanic dude and wearing the black robes. It's like they hey, this is what's hot. Beyonce, Sasha Fierce, calling herself Sasha Fierce, Rihanna. Name the biggest rapper you can think of. There's gonna be something satanic that attaches to their name. Like, name me the top 3 biggest hip hop artists alive right now.
Lil Wayne.
Definitely satanic. Remember the video with him and the horns and with the blood?
Yeah.
All right, give me another one.
Kendrick Lamar.
Damn, Kendrick.
Kendrick might be kind of immune to that.
Huh.
J. Cole, didn't he have a KOD album? Yeah.
That was King of Diamonds, though.
Oh, was it King of Diamonds? I thought it was King of Darkness.
No.
Ah.
That was for the Miami Strip Club.
Okay.
Damn. You might be onto something with... I'm trying to think of something with Kendrick. Like, I found one.
What's that?
When he did the Super Bowl. Remember, with Dr. Dre, and there was reels and shorts about that when Kendrick came out, he busted out in flames and he was stepping on a cathedral because it had all of Compton's map, and he was like crip walking on the cathedral.
Oh, Lord.
I mean,
sometimes you gotta stretch to find those symbols, huh?
But I mean, it's a thing, though, man.
Yeah. Well, everything that's in mainstream culture now, there's someone out there making videos saying it's satanic, even when it's not.
What about this? All right. What about, and this might take a step away from the satanic thing, but what about Kanye's approach? Kanye. Well, hold on. Let's take away the Kanye now. Let's not talk about that. Kanye
a lot of people want to.
We'll get there. But let's remove him out the question. Let's take high school graduate or college dropout.
Inspirational.
Yeah, college dropout Kanye. Life of Pablo Kanye. That era of Kanye. Mm-hmm. There was really no. Yeah, I guess there was a satanic vibe with him too, in the Illuminati. If you want to compare those two. Man. And oh god, damn, I didn't even think of that. But him closing the eyes and the Starman with David Bowie.
Yeah.
All right, it's like you're part of the Illuminati. You're a Satanist. You're David Bowie's creation. And then now it's like, okay, that's played out. Nobody's really checking for the satanic Kanye anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I got to do now? One step further.
Yep, that's what he did.
That's the step further.
The step further. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right, man. Kanye has found that next step, huh?
Wow, dude. I mean, let's talk about this without. We gotta let him know, bro.
Jesus.
If y'all don't know what Kanye's doing, just have a seat for a second. Let's just talk about this.
Oh, dear Lord. We got to do this without getting our video.
That's what I'm saying.
YouTube
let's tiptoe around it. Can we do that? Has our podcast?
People are questioning. Yeah, we can pull it off.
All right.
People are questioning whether he had gotten dementia, if he's actually gone crazy, or if he's just coming up with new ideas, going that one step further to shock people, to make sure the attention is still on him.
The money grab.
But man, like,
you sound like every parent in the 50s whose kid was wearing this. You sound like every parent.
In the 50s?
Or the 60s. What, the 60s,
70s with the...
the satanic parent. You sound like every parent back then. But continue.
Yeah. But, I mean, The only thing now is Kanye's an older guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that he's not really talking to the youth anymore.
I think he's just doing whatever the hell he wants to do.
It is.
I'm going to do it just because you said I can't.
Well, the thing about the Fuhrer, I guess we can say that on YouTube.
We got to give him the
and wearing
the guy
robes,
with the weird mustache.
Yeah, and the pointy pointy hoods, you know, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. He's had this campaign against Jewish leaders of the industry for a while now.
Yeah. Who run the music industry?
Yeah.
Some people say run the industry.
Is that the next evolution of him saying, I'm really about that life. I'm really against these people. I'm trying to take down some people. Or is it just, I need to stay relevant. I need to keep my name in people's mouths. And if they're not going to do it positively, I'm going to lean into the negative.
Or is it him pushing the boundaries? It's like, I'm going to go.
That's definitely it.
I'm going to do what pushing the boundaries. I'm going to do what everyone is afraid of doing. You know what?
Do whatever it takes.
God, dude, you are attention whore.
Wow.
I don't know what the angle is.
Those pop artists who are dressing up like the devil on the Grammys have not gone anywhere near what Kanye is doing right now.
He's,
Jesus Christ, man.
God, we didn't got so deep into Satanism. Smokey had to say Jesus Christ just to bring some.
Y'all fools need Jesus.
Y'all need Jesus, man.
Kanye needs Jesus right now.
I mean, it ain't. Kanye needs a damn. I don't know. It ain't even
a reality check, maybe. I mean, maybe
medication. I don't know, dude. It's just weird to see a black, successful, one of the greatest producers of all time, to be out there rocking, you know. Weird, y'all know the symbol. Y'all know the symbol I'm talking about, and wearing the pointy hats and having.
And now he's leading into the homosexuality also.
Is he?
Yeah, his cousin's song.
Oh God, you're right. Again, dude.
And that's what he said in that interview with academics, right? That now I can use the symbol. I can use the racism. I can use the homosexuality. Like, he's saying, I'm using this stuff for my benefit here.
I mean, dude, this is going to sound like a crazy...
Paraphrasing. That's not actually the words he said, but yeah.
But here, this is going to sound crazy. But if he was dying, if his music was dying, he wasn't making any money to support himself, and they were like, look, this is the only way for you to get back on top. Do you...
Is that gonna get him on top?
I mean, dude, we're talking about
it. He's relevant. I mean, yeah, he's making news because of it. But
the album, I think, is like number 3 on Billboard charts.
Only to see what he's gonna say. I mean, I guess that's shock rock in general, right? You know, like, or shock music in general. You know, you pick it up just to see what they're gonna say next. I mean, Eminem's built a whole career out of it.
Hey, Eminem will not touch what Kanye's doing right
now.
Not
at all. No, sir.
God.
No, there is not a white rapper in the entire industry. I mean, well, maybe there's some underground artists that cater to that style of.
You know what? This might sound a little off, but in a way, I kind of commend what Kanye is doing. Mm-hmm. Hear me out, because he really doesn't care. I don't care what y'all think. I like someone who doesn't care about what people think about them. If this is what I want to put out, I want to put it out. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. But if he's like, dude, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't care if you like it. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, I'm a millionaire. I'm good for the rest of my life. So he's doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
It's gonna upset people, but I do applaud him for not giving up. Like a Gigi Allen. I don't agree with what you're doing, but I wouldn't get up there and do that.
No.
But salute to you for not caring what people think and you just going out there.
That's bravery. That's for sure.
You're
bravery. That's the purest form of bravery.
You could even say Gigi is more brave than Kanye, because Kanye is I think Kanye's a billionaire. Gigi Allen was a thousandaire.
Well, yeah.
Gigi Allen wasn't on that level.
I don't know that he ever made much.
He might have been 100-aire.
Yeah.
He wasn't that rich.
No.
He didn't have shoe deals with Nike and Adidas. But for him to say, I don't need, if if you're gonna take away my Nike deal, if you're gonna take away my Adidas deal, if you're gonna take away my record label just because of me wanting to do what I want to do, instead of you putting me in a box, you got to be like this, you got to be like this.
Yeah.
It's like, I do commend them for. No one's gonna tell me how to do the art I want to do. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And if you want to take these deals away, fine. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I can.
Marilyn Manson wouldn't touch that stuff back in the day. Like back when he was on top of shocking the world. Yeah. He wasn't gonna touch that. What Kanye's doing. Man. But I mean, he said some controversial stuff, but he wasn't going to touch that.
Like, give me an example of like one of the most controversial things Marilyn Manson did.
He did have the N-word in a song, in the title of a song.
All right. I mean, but can you kind of see a little bit where I'm going here? Like, I don't agree with what you're doing, but you got the balls to do it.
Oh, I get it.
I salute you for that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the courage it takes to do that. I'll say that. I don't know if I salute him for doing it.
I mean, I can see why you do it. I don't know.
I can't see why.
No, not why. It's hard.
That's the thing. We're trying to figure out why he's doing it.
The thing is like, what I'm trying to say is, I don't agree with you wearing the anti-Semitic things. I don't agree with you wearing the white pointed hats. I don't agree with you with making money and preaching out about the guy with the. I don't agree with any of that. But I do applaud you for doing whatever you want to do, because you say it all the time. I don't care what you do as long as you're not hurting people.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not physically hurting anybody.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah.
I mean, if you're physically hurting yourself from something that a random dude
that is freedom. That's freedom and liberty.
I mean, he's doing what.
That's why you really can't go stop him from doing it.
No, it's that phrase with the freedom of speech. You may hate a certain race, and you may go out there and have flags and wear those white pointed hats. I don't agree with it, but as an American, I have to fight for your right to do those things.
Yeah, because if you don't, then what you want to say could be taken out also.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't agree with what you're doing, but you have the right to do it, and I see why you're doing it. You know what I'm trying to say. There's
a certain phrasing that has come about when people are starting to realize, like, yes, freedom of speech is, once cancel culture is dying out, like freedom of speech is not something we can really get rid of. We tried. It's not going to happen. People want it, so they're going to keep it, and people have fought for it for a long time to try to keep it. But so they start saying, yeah, you're free to say whatever you want, but you got to deal with the consequences of that.
And I that's what I applaud. Like, if you don't, I don't care what you think about
that's
me.
why he's brave for doing it.
Yeah, I salute the bravery. Yeah. By the way, great song me and Smokey put out called Freedom of Speech. Go check that out.
Oh yeah,
great song.
Absolutely.
But I mean, if you honestly want to push something and you truly believe in it, and like us doing Rappers React, how dare these two rappers listen to our music? There are some people out there that absolutely hate what me and you are doing right now. Like, but you know what? We want to do it, and it's something we're gonna take the good and with the
if
bad.
It bothers you that bad, then don't watch.
Exactly. And
I never understood that. People feel like they're obligated to watch something they don't like.
Well, we're talking about the Kanye thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we don't like it, but for some reason we feel like we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I mean, it's a trending topic. That's all I can think of.
Huh.
I mean, it's an interesting thing to talk about it, though. If you think about it, like, yeah, it's offensive to a lot of people, and people absolutely hate it, but it's still an interesting topic. And you can't find out people hate it if they're not talking about it.
That's it. I mean, it's almost like any publicity is good publicity. There's a fine line with that.
Yeah,
there's
really
a really fine line with that.
There really is, because if he wasn't so rich,
that's what I'm saying. Gigi Allen was more brave because he was 100 there.
Yeah, exactly. And Gigi Allen kind of sealed his fate that was as big as he was going to get in the music industry because of it.
God dang. Again, I don't agree with what you're doing, but as an American, brother, I'm going to fight for your right to say it. Because I might say something you may totally not agree with.
Yeah.
But that's part of being an American, man.
So what if the physical violence happens to him because of what he says?
He deserves it. if you want to put yourself out there, you want to speak all these things, you want to slander a certain.
But then, do you really have freedom of speech at that point?
Well, now you're bringing,
Yeah, the government's not doing anything about it, but what if the people do?
Well, that's free will, and then if someone attacks them, that's assault. That's against the law. You're going to go to jail.
That's kind of anti-liberty.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna go to jail. That's Kanye is not breaking the law, but if someone attacks him for saying things, that person is breaking the law. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird, man. America's an interesting country, dude.
It really is, ain't it?
I mean, I could literally go in your face and say, and you can't do nothing. I am entitled to say that. But the second
don't
you
do
say
it in front of kids, though.
Yeah, there is stipulations. But the second you hit me, you're gone.
That's assault.
You're gone.
Yeah.
Well, he said this. Well, saying stuff, I can't arrest him because your feelings are hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
You hurt this guy physically. Like, that's assault. I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird, man. America has gone into this rabbit hole so far that it's just a big whirlwind at this point. It's all confusing to most people in general. And I don't know. We're never going to be just the simple place anymore. Or I'd say it's probably the whole world. Society in general. We're never going to get back to that simple life that we used to have.
Yeah? No, it ain't. Dude.
The world has spun out of control.
I agree. And
we'll never get back to the good old days. I know everybody wants that, right? Everybody's like, I remember when I was a kid, there was no social media. I didn't have to answer the phone all day, because there was no phone on you. If I went away, I'll see you when I get back. Yeah. We can talk then.
Leave me a message on my answer machine. Or
didn't have to, social media wasn't telling me the horrors of the world all day long.
See, but that's the thing. That's our form of the good old days. That's most of the trash talkers watching the good old days. You ask a 16-year-old kid right now, their good old days was,
back when Minecraft came out.
Yeah, now they got GTA 6 coming out. Like, it's like people are fickle. We're fickle as people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, your good old day is going to be different than your mother's good old day.
Yeah.
Your grandmother's good old day is going to be. It's just. I don't know.
I long for a time without being connected to everyone at all times, but maybe that's the antisocial of me.
Yeah. Well, Smokey,
we are introversion
YouTubers with 170,000 subscribers.
I love talking to the people, and I love the interaction we have, but you go all day with your phone in your pocket and you have to be connected to everyone at all times. People need a time to unplug.
Oh, yeah.
People need time to be by themselves.
Yes.
It helps you process stuff.
Yes.
If you're always taking in information from every corner of the earth all day long, your brain can't handle that, and you need time to unwind.
And what's crazy that you say that is I think the body tells you that. Like, it gets to a point where your body's like, all right, bro, we're almost at that. We're at 98% at that level. Yeah. We need to calm down. And that's what we were talking, I think, a few podcasts ago when I just got back from Mexico. Mm-hmm. I was like, I just need, and you said, I remember you vividly, you said, I feel bad for people who don't have hobbies.
Yeah.
Or something
to
do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it feels good. Like,
you need an outlet.
Yeah, me and Smokey love doing this more than anything. We love talking to you guys. We love listening to music. But there are times where we just want to just no camera, just leave me alone.
But then also this is an outlet for us.
Yeah, and it is. We get to let ourselves out and joke and talk, man.
Yeah.
This is what we like to do.
We can talk about all the stuff that we've been through, that's been cycling through our brain all week.
Yeah.
To get it out.
And shout out to y'all for listening to us, man. We sit here and talk about NASCAR, football, MMA, music, all kind of stuff. People not having hobbies and feeling bad about them.
Pop music gone satanic.
I mean, Kanye West and David Bowie being connected somehow.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all for listening.
But one more thing, let's finish up the conversation we were having last week.
Yeah.
Is Satanism and the Gothic stuff, the dark side, is that even cool anymore when everybody's doing it? I think about like tattoos, man. I love tattoos. I got tattoos when I was young. It was the cool thing to do. And the piercings, all that. I mean, I only had my ears pierced, but you know what I'm saying.
Got your ears pierced?
Like, yeah, for 15 years.
I do remember you wearing that big ass. Yeah.
Yeah, the big studs.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of needles, but go ahead. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But all that stuff was cool. At some point, it becomes not cool, right? If everybody does it, if you go to church and the preacher's got long hair covered in tattoos with piercings, you go to court, your judge has got long hair covered in tattoos, is it really cool at that point? So at what point does Satanism, the dark, the goth, all of that become not cool anymore because it's the mainstream thing to do? Everybody's doing it.
Well, let me ask you this. There are people who do get the tattoos and the piercings that don't care about cool. They just do it because I want a tattoo. I don't care that if it's...
Oh, everybody's going to give you that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but there are
people... You think you look cool with it or you wouldn't be doing it? I'm not going to get something like, oh, I look ugly with this stuff.
Well,
no, you're going to get it because you're like, man, I like the way this looks.
Yeah. I mean, there are people out there like who don't care about what the culture... Oh, yeah, tattoo culture is a thing. But, like, if you take a tribe like in Thailand... they do the,
tribal, yeah. But that's everybody's kind of required.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But now, if you take,
it just feels like it's becoming that way in America.
Yeah,
everybody's just required to get tattoos when they grow up.
But going back to the people in Thailand, or I think it's in Thailand, or like some of the Polynesian countries where they get those tribal tattoos. Mm-hmm. Now you take someone from a remote island that doesn't even know what a tattoo is, and they go there, and I was like, man, that's cool. I didn't even know you could put a picture on their body.
Yeah,
in his head,
that looks cool. I want that.
Yeah, okay, but he doesn't know that everybody else thinks it's cool. He just knows, damn, that's awesome. I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So in his eyes, he doesn't know that this is the cool thing to do. Everybody's doing it. He's like, damn. I can get a picture of my country. Hey, put that right there. So I think there is some people out there that do it just because they just want to do it. But there is a lot of people out there that go out there and be like, everybody's doing this. I need to do it to fit in. But then and then it becomes
but
not.
But then when the judge and the preacher and the doctor all are doing it, then you're like, well, it's not cool anymore. It's just normal.
Well, all right.
Because kids don't want to be normal. They want to stand out. They want to be individuals.
Doesn't everybody? Yeah, everybody wants to be in their own individual.
I would hope so. No. I can't even say everybody.
Now. Or majority.
No, because when you're a kid, you get picked on for being not like everybody else.
All right, so adults. Most adults want to be their own person.
Uniquely individual in their own way, yeah. But you're not if you're just doing the same thing everybody else does.
Well, god dang, if you go by that, then you speak English, everybody's speaking English. How dare you speak English?
Yeah, the way to be individual would be to learn a
different language, yeah. But it's cool to speak English.
Mm-hmm. Or is it? Maybe not so much these days.
You see what I'm saying? Like...
but that's one thing, you can't communicate it with anybody without it.
Okay, all right. Hats. Your Atlanta hat. Mm-hmm. Why do you wear that hat?
I like Atlanta hats.
Are you doing it because other people wear hats and it makes you look cool?
No, because I got a big head.
So you're not
cover it up, yeah.
So are you
wearing
this
Cro-Magnon eyebrow to it? Helps hide that.
So the first thing you said was you like Atlanta hats. Yeah. The second thing you said was to hide your crone head.
So I like wearing the hat to hide the head, but I like Atlanta hats.
Does it make you look cool?
So if I'm gonna wear a hat, I like Atlanta hats.
Does it make you look cool too?
Probably. I mean, you'd have to ask somebody else that.
Why? I can't ask you that. I mean, all right.
I like the way it looks. I think it looks cool.
That's
it.
Why I do it. If you like it, you like it.
But if you walk into the court and the judge has got on the Atlanta hat, and your pastor's got on the Atlanta hat, and
so would you stop wearing the hat?
All your teachers at school have on the Atlanta hat.
Would you stop wearing the hat? If the judge...
I wouldn't, because I'm an adult now. I'm saying kids though.
Okay, so we're still in the youth.
Yeah.
Okay.
The kids look at whatever the teacher's doing and goes, I don't want to be like that. That's not cool. No,
absolutely not. I mean, all right.
But now the teachers have tattoos and stuff. But the point was about music and the dark gothic stuff in music. At what point do people not want to be like do the kids come up and say, that's lame, that satanic stuff. All the old people do it.
Man, again, we were talking off camera. Actually,
the pop stars do it. Like, how is it cool anymore? I want to be a part of a niche genre.
So we got a reaction coming out to a song by Oasis. I won't tell the song, but we were like, nowadays it's not cool to do those, and now they would be called blanks. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But it's like back then, everybody.
That's what old people did. Yeah.
I mean, I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know.
The world's crazy. That's what I'm saying, man.
Who knows, man?
Nobody knows anything anymore. We're just floating through the simulation day to day, and
I live by
trying to find our way to the end.
I live by the theory, dude. Do whatever you want, as long as you ain't hurt.
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
Do it, and you
Yeah.
want to. One thing I want to say about the tattoos thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it is still a thing. Remember with the tattoos on your face?
Oh yeah.
That was the cool thing. You can't be a rapper unless you got tattoos on your face.
Yeah, but now you see like 50-year-old dudes that never rapped a day in their life, wearing it.
Or you see, like gang members who are 50, 60, got all these tattoos, and then you see the youth got all these tattoos on their face. In my head, I'm like, I love tattoos. I love them. I don't do it because everyone else, but I would never put a tattoo on my face. I would never do that. And at some, huh? What did you say?
I mean, I wouldn't start at this age if I was you anyway.
Hell, when I was 13,
even if
I
you
would.
wanted to.
Bro,
Yeah.
we had
I never wanted one on my
We had a
face
homeboy
either.
that had a tear right there. I know a few people that had tears.
Yeah.
But I was never like, oh man, I can't go. Like, to me, it's like, yes, I like tattoos, but it's not
I don't
going
want
on
anything
this.
that I'm gonna have to cover up with makeup at some point.
Yeah, like that. I'm just all about being yourself. That goes back to the Kanye thing. I'm for him being who he wants to be. If you want to say all this anti-Semitic stuff, cool, bruh, cool. I don't agree with it. Everybody else around you is probably not going to agree with it. You're probably going to get dished on by the majority of the public. But
And maybe even physical altercations.
you might
He's rich enough to afford the
Yes.
the security, so it may not matter at that point.
Right.
But if you were not rich doing that, then you got a lot to deal with.
again.
Bro.
So do we need to shout out Gigi Allen?
Gigi Allen was the bravest dude to ever live.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I don't agree with what you doing, but I as an American,
And he would take the ass whoopings though.
oh yeah, he'd fight you back. And Kanye
Yeah,
might
he got
sue
his ass
him.
beat all the time, from what I understand, and he just took it.
Yeah, man. Now, all right, bringing it back to rap. I want to ask you one question.
Mm-hmm.
As of today, 2020, or this year, 2025, do you think Satanism is more symbolic in hip hop now, or do you think it was more symbolic 10, 15 years ago?
Nah, well, what do you mean by symbolic?
Like, or more in the forefront? Like,
Yeah, it definitely is.
like
now.
right now, it's
Because,
right now-
like I said, the mainstream artists when we were young were more Christian. Even though they were talking about some crazy stuff, they might have been talking about offing people and whatever. They were still considering themselves Christians at heart. So the next generation comes along, they rebel against that by doing the Satanism thing. They're going to be dark. Like I said before, it kind of took the progression that metal did also.
Yeah.
Where, they just took it a step farther. And the next generation is going to come along and go, I can beat that. But, it's definitely more in the forefront now.
All right.
Like I said, any artist that was claiming to be satanic back in our day, back when we were kids, that is, they were going to be underground. They weren't going to make it onto the radio with that.
So
but now you can.
So you think the whole satanic imagery from the music industry and hip hop, hell, I'll just say the music industry is specifically directed toward the youth.
No, say that again.
You think the satanic imagery in the music industry is specifically directed toward the youth?
Yeah, I mean the youth buys more music than any other age group. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's some albums where they can't buy it because you got to be over 18.
Is that still a thing?
Hell yeah,
You sure?
Tiffany had to buy it. Yes, I had a friend had to buy a Marilyn Manson CD and show her ID at Walmart.
Really?
At Walmart.
It used to be, man, Walmart didn't even sell that stuff when we were young. They wouldn't even sell explicit lyrics.
I don't know. And then you gotta. I mean, we could even have a conversation like.
Do they don't put the parental advisories on there anymore, do they?
Yeah.
They
I mean,
still
the
do?
thing, the reason you're saying that is because people don't really buy physical copies anymore.
Yeah.
But these people that I know want to physically hold it. They want the thing. So.
Hey, that's a way of kids kind of doing the opposite. Like, if everybody's just using digital copies, I want a physical copy.
Physical, yeah.
Yeah, let me get a CD or let me get a cassette tape.
It's so crazy. She told me she was in the deli section, and her son called her and was like, "Mom, can you come to electronics?" Why? I want to buy an album. And he had his own money.
Yeah.
I'm not old enough. She gets over there. She's like, you need my ID to buy it? I'm sorry, ma'am. It's just policy. I just need to put a birthday in. I was like, sure.
And how old is the kid?
16.
Yeah, see, it used to be 16, right? Or was it?
It was 18.
You sure?
I think. I'm pretty sure it was right. But
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Because,
God.
it feels like mainstream media is more okay with cussing these days than there used to be.
Well, we ain't said one curse word since we've been on here yet.
Oh yeah, YouTube's not cool with it.
Well, all right, God dang! All right, I got another.
That's weird, ain't it?
Yeah,
it is. You can hear the F-bomb on TV these days, but not on YouTube.
Here. And some would argue that this is the biggest platform.
I mean, you can say it on YouTube. They'll take away your monetization if they feel like it.
And this is one of the only videos of the week that actually we
get paid for.
Can get monetized off of. It ain't much, but still.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it! I have one more question I wanted to ask you, and I just completely forgot about it. Well, this is something I've noticed, but I'm curious. Do you think rock and metal have deviated from the satanic imagery when they were the forefront? Like, I feel like it's more hip hop.
The mainstream artists, it feels like it, right? Think about the biggest metalcore artists right now: Sleep Token, Knocked Loose. They're not doing that stuff.
Baby metal.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they do that, but it's for the Fox.
But that's more, for the Fox. Yeah, it's more into I don't know, supernatural things, but not really satanic stuff anymore. At least the mainstream art. I know there's probably still.
There's always
there's ghosts.
Yeah.
You know, so there's that.
It's almost like the rock.
But
the
ghost
rock
feels
genre
more mainstream.
Right. It's like the rock genre was like, look, we started this. We had the Satanic Panic. Excuse me. And then rap took it away. It was like, all right, y'all can have it. It's like,
and now pop has it.
Oh, that's what it goes to the thing you were saying. Once it blows up and everyone's cool with it, all right, we don't want it no more.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying,
dude. So what comes after Kanye then? If we went to smoking marijuana, oh how dare they, to satanic, the Satanic Panic, how dare they, to a dude out there with weird jewelry and pointed hats. What comes after that? What comes after that? I mean, I can take a guess, but
I don't know what. Other than, I don't know, you're gonna go out in front of a crowd and physically turn into a dragon? Like, what else can you do?
God dang, I want to meet that person. If you can physically,
how can you shock people after you've already worn the robe with the pointy hat and the symbol?
Or not only that, but a thong and floss and all, what comes
and
after
people,
that?
Showing up at functions butt naked. Like, how do you top that? Like, what? Unless you're gonna hold a slaughter at town square, like, what else do you do?
God dang. Trash talk.
That's just
God. Yo, we literally could sit here for another hour and just continue to talk about this. You guys let us know, man.
Yeah.
What's next? What's next? We've been through the
They're gonna shock people by doing good, wholesome family music.
How dare he put out a record about?
There'll be somebody outraged.
He made a song about the food pyramid with eating his Hulk Hogan. 1980s Hulk Hogan is gonna make a resurface. He's gonna resurface.
Yeah, take your vitamins and say your prayers.
Prayers, brother. How dare he, man?
He made an album about taking vitamins and saying prayers and drinking milk and petting the dog, and he sold 10 million copies. That pisses me off.
Man, you guys let us know your comments down in the comment section. Smoke, you got anything else for him this week?
Nah, that's it for this week.
That's it for this week. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Trash Talkers Podcast. A great week of reactions is coming up. We'll see you guys later on today on Tuesday with the Tribe. And with that being said, my name's Smokey Hollywood. 6. Bye.
I am Larry Smokey Ramirez. Cowboy.
And we are
over. Out. Deuces. Yeah, boy. We're at an existential crisis, man.